Hello, my fellow immortals, and welcome back to The Source. I'm your host, Russell Nash, and this is the #1 spot for Highlander the card game, as well as all other Highlander-related material. In this video, we're going to be talking about exactly what the title of the video was, and that is, there is a new set coming for Highlander the card game. And I'm so excited about this, and I hope that you are too. This is such an amazing thing happening for Highlander the card game. I can't wait until this new set drops. So in this video, we're going to talk about what's in the set, why it's so amazing and important to the game. And if you stick around to the end of the video, I'm going to give you a little sneak preview of an alternate persona that's going to be released with this set. So what that means is an alternate persona is going to be an alternate persona picture and an alternate persona power for an already existing immortal in Highlander the card game. But I'm not going to reveal what the alternate persona power is for this immortal, but you will get to see who it is, and you will get to see the front and new picture for this new alternate version. So I can't wait to show you guys. I hope you guys are as excited about this as I am. And without further ado, let's get into it. So before we jump right in, I just want to give a massive shout out and thank you to the people who made this happen. Number one, I'd like to thank Mike Sager for making this happen. And number two, I would like to thank Shane Robbins. He's the man behind the set. And without these guys, I don't think the set would have been released. So a big shout out and thanks to Mike Sager, and a big, massive, massive shout out to Shane Robbins. Shane, thank you so much for making this happen. I would also like to thank the playtesters who tested this new set and made it what it is. They tweaked the set, they played it, and without their input and valuable time, I don't think that this set would be as amazing as it is. So a big shout out and thank you to Jim, Steve, Nigel, Jeff, and Dave. Thank you guys so much for making this happen. And without you guys, like I said, I don't think that this could have been possible. So I want everyone to show those guys some love on the Highlander Blood of Kings Facebook page. And just go there and show some love, guys, because they definitely deserve it. And this set has been a long time coming, and I'm super excited, and I cannot wait to share it with you. So without further ado, let's talk about the set. So let's get right in and start talking about exactly why this new set is so awesome and what it means for Highlander the card game. So as a lot of you know, Highlander the card game is an older collectible card game, and a lot of the sets that have been released years ago, and it hasn't had a new set since, I believe, 2018, which was the last Legacy Core set #2. And this is such an amazing thing for Highlander the card game, because this set is going to be a continuation of second edition cards. It's going to be the third Legacy set released. And I just want to say that that is so awesome that new players and veteran players alike are going to be getting new second edition stock that they can start to build their decks with, that they can supplement their decks with. And this is going to be just such an amazing addition to the game. Now, as a lot of you know, there were several additions to Highlander the card game. There was first edition, there was second edition, and for a brief period of time, there was a third edition, but they stopped with the third edition and went back on to continue the second edition of the game. Now, the first edition is widely available, and you can still find a lot of new old stock from the first edition. You can find booster boxes and starter deck boxes, and you can also find them for a relatively cheap price. And as a lot of you already know, it's a lot harder, if not virtually impossible, to find any second edition stuff for Highlander the card game. And that's one of the main reasons why this new set is so amazing, because it's a continuation and it's a new release of second edition cards for Highlander the card game. Now, if you're like me and you started playing Highlander the card game, you mainly started with first edition. And first edition is amazing. First edition can show you how to play the game. It will introduce you to all of the different immortals in first edition. It introduces you to the game mechanics, how the game is played. It also introduces you to the weapons involved in Highlander, and that is something that is invaluable. But when you're talking about second edition, Second edition went on and expanded the mechanics, and it really went on and revamped how deck building is done in Highlander the card game, Highlander CCG. And in second edition, they really revolutionized building decks in a collectible card game. And the way that they did it was super unique. And I still think that it stands the test of time to this day. I still think that it's one of a kind in its deck building mechanics. And that really says a lot considering the fact that there are so many CCGs out there and there's so much variety nowadays. But when this game came out and when second edition was released, it really did revolutionize how you build a deck in a collectible card game. So I will be making another video on the different additions to the game, the different sets that were released, etc. But just for this video, we're talking about why that this new set is so amazing for the existing player base out there, as well as the new players trying to get in the game. So as I mentioned earlier, it's relatively easy to find first edition stuff. And it's nearly impossible to find second edition stuff. I mean, you're not going to be able to go out there and find a booster box for second edition or a starter deck box for second edition. And that is something I think that has really been a detriment to Highlander CCG, because the second edition of the game is really where it shines. And I'm not saying that first edition is bad, because it's not bad at all. First edition is amazing. It's super fun to build decks with. It's awesome to look at all of the different immortals in first edition. But second edition really went back and revised that. They really went back and honed what is amazing about Highlander. And this new set is going to be all second edition cards. So what that means is that for those of you out there who are playing Highlander or who want to get into the game, but all you can find is first edition, and you might want to try to dabble in second edition, that means that this is your window of opportunity. This is the time that you can use to get those second edition cards. And I think that that is something that cannot be stressed enough. It's just really awesome how they're going to continue on with second edition with the release of this new set. And that's such an amazing thing for new players who have only ever gotten to play the first edition of the game. Now, there are different formats of the game. There's straight first edition play, there's type 1 play, and there's type 2 play. I will be making a video covering all of the different formats of play, and but for this video, we're just talking about why this new set is so amazing and how you, as a new player or as a veteran player, can get your hands on some new second edition stuff. And I think that that cannot be said enough, just how amazing that is. You're really going to see what the second edition of this game can do. So with that being said, let's get into a little bit about what's going to be in this new Legacy set and just basically what that means. So in this new set that's going to be released, it's going to include a lot of different awesome, amazing things. And the first thing that it's going to include is a brand new immortal to Highlander, the card game. And that's something that is extremely awesome. I mean, this is a new immortal that's never been in the game before. It's an immortal from the television series. He had an amazing episode, and if you love the television series, you're going to know exactly who it is when you open that box and you see that Persona card. You're going to be excited. You're going to be just as ecstatic as I am. I can't wait to get my hands on this new set. I can't wait to get my hands on this new immortal and just see what I can do with him, see all of the different ways that I can build this immortal. I think that he is truly unique, and I think that he is something that is going to add to the game, and I really cannot wait for everyone to just see exactly what they can do with this new immortal. Now, with that being said, you're not only going to get this brand new immortal, you're going to get every single card in his set up to restriction. So what that means is you're not going to have to buy 3 or 4 booster boxes just to try to fill out his cards up to restriction. This is a one-time purchase thing where you buy the set one time and you get all of this new Immortals cards. And that's not just all of his cards up to restriction. You're getting his Persona card, you're getting his Premium +1, and you're getting his weapon of choice. And that is just such an amazing thing by itself. If that was the only thing that was being released, that would be enough on its own, but it's not. And this set has so much more in it than just that. So you're getting the entire new Immortal set. You're getting all of his cards up to restriction, his premium, and the weapon of choice that this Immortal uses. And that's, I can't just stress how awesome that is. I mean, you're not going to be buying 4 or 5 boxes to try to fill out, this Immortal's cards up to restriction. You're going to, like I said, this is a one-time purchase. You're going to buy this one time and you're going to get all of this Immortal's cards. And that's not the only thing that's coming in this new Legacy 3 set. You're not only getting the new Immortal, all of his cards up to restriction, his persona, his premium +1, and his weapon. You're also going to be getting some generic cards, some second edition generic cards that you're going to need to build a deck with. So if you've never been able to build a second edition Highlander deck, this is super important for you because you're getting these toolbox cards, you're getting these generic cards that you absolutely desperately need to put together a second edition deck. And that's something even on its own is just amazing. And I'm super happy and stoked that this is happening. I can't wait for this release for this new set. I mean, you're getting a brand new Immortal, an Immortal that's never been in the game before. He has a unique persona power that you're going to get to play and build all kinds of crazy cool decks with. You're getting generic cards, second edition generic cards, toolbox cards that you're going to be able to use to build those decks, those second edition decks. And I for one, cannot wait to just get my hands on this new Immortal. Now, I'm not going to reveal who this new Immortal is. I don't think that that's my place to do. I don't think that, I'm going to ruin that for everybody. I want you to be excited and I want there to be some anticipation for this new set. I want everyone to be, waiting on who this new Immortal is. And when you open that box and when you see who it is, I want there to be a real genuine excitement. I want it to be organic. I don't want to just tell you who it is now and then that excitement is gone, and who the new Immortal is and then you're just waiting for the set to come out. I really do want there to be some good anticipation for this set because this set is something that's desperately needed for Highlander the card game. This new set is something that a lot of people have wanted, and this new set is just something that's going to bring, all of us back together. It's going to bring in new players. It's going to bring in the existing players. They're going to continue to play the game. That some veteran players might come back to, to see what they can do with this new Immortal. And, I just can't wait for this to happen. So not only are you getting the new Immortal, not only are you getting his persona, his premium +1, his weapon of choice, you're getting those generic cards too to build your deck with. And that's not even it. It's not even stopping there. There's going to be more in this set, this new Legacy 3 set. And it's just the hype around this set is going to be awesome. I can't wait. So the new Immortal, all of his cards up to restriction, you're going to get those generic cards that you desperately need to build the deck. And we're not even done there. We're also going to be getting new weapon of choice cards to go with existing weapons in the game. And that's also something that is just, unbelievable. We're going to be getting new weapon cards to go with some of the weapons of choice that are already in Highlander. I mean, this is going to change the way that a lot of these weapons are used. This is going to change the way that you can build a deck with a certain Immortal and a certain weapon. I mean, with these new cards being added to the game, it's going to bring some new life to the game. It's going to bring a new fresh spin on some of these weapons that have been in the game. And I think that that's something that's just amazing as well. I mean, the new Immortal, his entire set, his weapon of choice, the generic cards that are coming out, the toolbox stuff that's going to be in the set, the new weapon of choice cards that are going to be in this set. And it doesn't even stop there, guys. It doesn't even stop there. Also, that's going to be included in this set is 48 Immortals that are already currently in the game right now. 48 Immortals are getting new cards. That means that some Immortals that desperately needed a tune-up or a change or something like that, they're going to be getting cards that they desperately needed. I mean, this is going to change the way people play some Immortals. This is going to make some Immortals way more viable. This is going to make some Immortals way more competitive. It's going to take some, lower to mid-tier Immortals. It's going to bump them up and it's going to make them more competitive, more playable, more fun to build decks with. And that's also something that this game desperately needed. It needed some of these immortals that were lacking. They needed new cards. They needed new ways to be able to be built. They needed a different kind of spin, and that's exactly what this new set is going to do. And I can't wait for this new set to drop. I mean, the 48 immortals that are already in the game, they're going to be getting new cards. I can't wait to see all the different variations that some of these immortals are going to be able to bring to the table now. I mean, I can't even tell you how awesome that is. I mean, it's going to take some immortals from, mediocre to awesome. And that's just something that cannot be said enough as well. So this new set is truly going to be a breath of fresh air for Highlander the card game. And I just hope that everybody that is waiting for this new set is as anticipating and is as hyped up about it as I am, because to get new second edition stuff is just so amazing. That's so important, and it's just an awesome thing for the game, for Highlander the card game. And that's just something that new players and existing players have wanted. The older players or the newer players, they want more second edition stuff. The new players who are playing first edition, they might not have ever been able to find second edition stuff. Now, you can go on eBay and you can find some singles for second edition. And the singles that you can find on eBay for second edition, I mean, they're good cards. But if you're not already an established player, those cards really aren't going to do much for you, because you don't really have much to go off of. You're going to buy some singles off of eBay, and they are good cards. They are good cards for some existing immortals, but like I said, they're not really going to do anything for you. You'd really need to be an existing player that has a solid stock of second edition stuff to make those cards really work for you. And I think that that's something that this game desperately needed. It needed more second edition stuff to be released. And, I think that that's something that's going to bring this game back. I think that Highlander, the card game, can make a comeback. And I think that this set is exactly what the game needed. And I just think it's amazing. I can't wait for this new set to drop. I hope that everybody watching this video is now as excited as I am about this new set, because it's something that this game really needed. I can't say that enough. It's something that this game really, really needed. So I hope that this game can, have a breath of fresh air again. I hope that the new players that want to get into Highlander can finally get their hands on second edition cards. I hope that, the existing players can get those cards for the immortals that they already have to take them to another level. And speaking on the, existing immortals that are going to be getting new cards, these cards can be purchased individually. And what I mean by that is, I'll just give a quick example of, a new immortal, or excuse me, not a new immortal, but an immortal that is going to be getting some new cards. Annie Devlin. Let's just say Annie Devlin, you're an existing player and you have some Annie cards, you have an Annie set, but, this new set, you don't really want any of the other cards for, most of the other immortals. You can just buy Annie's cards. You don't have to buy all of the other Immortals cards if you don't want them. But I mean, in my opinion, if I were you watching this video, I would pick up the entire set. I would grab everything while I could. There's going to be some promos. There's going to be all kinds of cool stuff in this new set. And like I said, I would pick up every single card in this new set, because you don't know what's going to come out in the future. You don't know what might be re-released. You have no idea. So I just want to say that, you can buy just, individually what you want, but I would go ahead and pick up everything, because it's going to be a chance to get brand new cards for existing immortals for second edition. I mean, that is something that is super amazing, super cool. Plus, I mean, you're getting a new immortal, never been introduced into the game before. He doesn't exist in the game. He's being, released with this new set, brand new immortal, brand new way to play the game. And I just can't wait for this set to drop. And you know what? It's going to be something that I think a lot of people have wanted for a long time, and that's something that's really amazing, really cool. So I hope that this, gives you kind of an idea and an insight into why this new set is going to be so important, and it's going to be just so invaluable to the game. And I just want to say, if you stuck around till this part of the video, I'm not going to let you down. So let's go ahead and take a look at that sneak peek of an alternate persona being released with this set. And what I mean by that is like I said earlier in the video, this is an alternate persona for an already existing immortal, but he's getting a new image on the front of his persona card, as well as a brand new persona power. And it looks amazing, guys. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at that sneak peek of the alternate persona right now. Check it out. Whoa, didn't Duncan look amazing? I mean, don't get me wrong. I love all of the immortals in the Highlander universe, but Duncan MacLeod has to be one of, if not my favorite immortal from the Highlander universe. I mean, Duncan, he's a fan favorite, and the front of that persona card, it looks amazing. I'm super hyped to build a Duncan deck now. And I just want to say that his new persona power is amazing. And, rightfully so, because Duncan is a staple in Highlander and the Highlander universe. And Duncan is one of those immortals that, even if you're just a casual fan of Highlander, you would know who Duncan MacLeod is. So I cannot wait for his alternate persona to come out. I cannot wait to build a deck with his new persona power. And I just can't wait for this new set to drop. I hope everyone is as excited about it as I am, and I can't wait to get my hands on it. So I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you're as excited about this as I am, and together we're gonna see how far we can go with Highlander the card game. I just wanna say thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and tell me down in the comments how excited you are for this new set. Tell me who some of your immortals are that you want to build a deck with, or tell me if you've never even had a chance to play second edition. Tell me when you started playing Highlander, and I can't wait to start interacting with all of the different immortals out there. So don't forget about the new set. I'm going to have more news as it's coming out, and you can find the new set at www.highlanderthecardgame.com. That's highlanderthecardgame.com. You're going to be able to buy the set from that website. So go ahead and check that out, and just be on the lookout for that new set. And like I said, it's going to be great. So thanks for watching. Don't lose your heads out there. Be on the lookout for that next video. And remember, there can be only one collectible card game.